All right, man. We back here with the Beanie and the Boom Show. We got a great guest today, man. We got my boy Cardale Jones, aka 12 Gauge, in the house today, man. What's going on,
Are you
brother?
just gonna start the show fucking up his name?
Listen. Me and him went through this probably 9 times. About it's really not Cordell. It's
Oh my
a C and an
God,
A
man.
says CAR says car.
Right.
Cardale. All right, my bad.
But that's my dog though. Like I get it. And you know what's funny? In high school, we had a guy named Cordell Scott, and then I was Cardale Jones, of course. And everybody used to always call me his name, Cordell. It got to a point my social media was Cordell. I just embraced it.
My bad, bro.
No, I good.
Damn,
man. I know what
Beans.
you mean.
I'm just saying, man, you gonna have a nice guest, so you can't just screw up his name out the gate.
You're right.
Man.
You're right. Anyway, what's going on, man? How you doing, bro?
Man, good, chilling, man. Just back here, the off season, training, seeing family, trying to stay in shape.
Okay, cool. Man, so, obviously, we get a lot of different guys that come here, past athletes, man. So we just like to try to figure out what guys got going on, man. I know it's the off season for you right now. Obviously, we spent some time together, in Buffalo. Did a lot of great things here at Ohio State. So we just gonna jump into it, man. So how's the off season going?
So far, so good. As both of you guys know, you both played at a higher level. There's no true real off season. You know what I'm saying? You're still working as hard as you working for the season.
Right.
As you was in the season. But it's going good so far. Like you guys finishing up this 10-day cleanse, so you know what I'm saying, can really jump into the off season, start training harder and harder, and getting ready for the next season.
Shout out to E. Shout out to E. Man. We had E on the show a
for
couple of weeks
sure.
ago, and
Big shout out to E. Just going back to your time at Ohio State. I mean, you won a national championship here. You went through a lot of, I would call it adversity or whatever you want to call it, man. Just talk about your time at Ohio State, man. Like, how was it? Like, was your relationship with Urban? Did you have a good relationship with Urban? Like,
Man, my time at Ohio State was definitely unique.
Right.
I wouldn't trade it for the world. I would never even think about transfer or anything like that. But I would personally say more lows than highs, just because of coming from a high school program when I was starting quarterback, then coming to a major university like this, thinking, everybody think they're going to come here and play and start as a freshman and win a Heisman and do all these great things, but it was such a shell shock of having the turnover from Coach Tressel's staff, who recruited me.
all right.
And then, a lot of people don't know, as that staff was basically, leaving, everything happened with Coach Tressel. Urban staff was coming in the midst of me making that transition from high school to college.
Yeah.
So it was like I was already committed here, but I wasn't his guy. I
Right.
wasn't the guys that we had coming in wasn't the guys they recruited.
Right.
So it was almost a feel like they was already looking past this class that we had coming in 2012. So that was already hard for me. I can remember, being at Fort Union Academy, military academy, because that's where I went out of high school, because me and Braxton was same year in high school.
Yeah.
So they wanted, Trussell plan was to separate me and Braxton by 2 years. So Braxton went into high school early. So when I'm finishing up my senior semester, he was already at OSU. He came in early.
All right.
So, like I said, the plan was to send me to Fort Union for a semester and then redshirt my first year, which would give me and Braxton that 2 years of separation, even though we're the same age.
that's actually dope, man.
I was gonna ask about that.
I can't imagine not many people know about that.
No, they don't know. But yeah, so me and him was same class, so it gave us that 2 year separation because you know how Coach Trussell was. I mean, he was a guy. He loved his Ohio guys that come to Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? Even if, some guys, we all play with them guys who really probably didn't deserve to be at Ohio State, but Coach Trussell, he find a way to get them guys on the team, in the university, on the campus. So that was the original plan. So when I was at Fort Union Academy, that's when everything happened with Coach Trussell. So I was in the midst of already going through them steps in that plan, and I just get a new coach out of nowhere.
That's crazy.
Man, I could imagine that being one of the hardest things is, I mean, like you said, you're making that transition from 18, 19-year-old kid going into a completely different environment, and you're expecting, and your family's expecting you to go to an individual who you've seen a bunch of people from Glenville obviously go and get up underneath the tutelage of Coach Trussell and him be a mentor to everybody.
Exactly.
And now you, like, damn,
It's just
blindsided.
Blindsided. Because, like you said, I was blindsided because I, going to Fort Union was the only it really wasn't the only pathway to go to Ohio State. I mean, you know, they gave me the option like, well, you can come in early. You know, you guys battled out in the spring. But let's be honest, you got two great quarterbacks coming in the same class. If one win a job, clearly the other one's going to leave.
Right.
And we want to keep you guys here. So, you know, I kind of swallowed a pill. Braxton was already there on campus, you know, signing. He's there on January. Signing day is in February. So I'm still finishing my high school semester. I'm like, you know what? I'll take that route. You know, and it wasn't like, oh, well, Braxton going to be our guy. You just take this back seat.
Yeah.
It was just a year to give a separation in case Braxton be everything we thought he would be.
Right.
You know, so all that is happening, and then, like I said, I'm at Fort Union Military Academy. Well, put it like this. I didn't know Fort Union was a military-style school until I got there. And when I say, so when I say I called Coach Johnson, Taver, because he was my recruiting guy. When I say I called him in full-blown tears and everything the first day on that campus, and I'm like, just looking around, my family's dropping me out. They're like, you know, we looking. I'm like, where's the females? I'm like, honestly, I'm like, I don't see anything. I'm laughing. I'm like, what's the deal? I'm like, look at the dude got his shirt tucked in. So I'm like, look at the little nerd and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I'm thinking to myself, this dude got his shirt tucked in his like hoop shorts. Like, what is going on here?
Wow.
I go to orientation still looking for females, and then they start talking about military style. I was like, oh my God, what am I? So, you know, after orientation, you got to walk around and get all your uniforms and get checked in and everything. And I'm just like, what is going on? Get checked into your Barretts. And I'm like, where am I right now? Like, what's going on? So it finally kind of sinks in. And then another thing, no electronics.
What?
No electronics. No phones.
Wow.
No internet. We had TV, but you know what I mean? It was literally probably maybe 15 to 20, 30 minutes at the most at certain times of the day that you can watch TV.
So you were in jail.
Basically.
That's where you was at.
Pretty much. And then like my communication for, September to early December was writing letters home. Yeah, writing letters home.
It was real life.
It was military. Yeah, it's military. Granted, you know, 80-90% of these kids, these people are going to Fort Union. They come in from a military background, and they know what they want to do. And
right.
They know they going from Fort Union to probably VMI or the Army or the Naval Academy, and then going to the Army. That's what they want to do. But it was horrible. So, well, horrible for me. It was horrible for me. It was just a cultural shell shock. That's what it was. Yeah. First time being away from home, and then imagine all that stuff, and then getting hit with the turmoil at OSU at the time.
Yeah.
Now, like my future is not even like is in jeopardy.
Right.
Yeah. I'm already at a place I don't want to be. Now, am I going to a place where I don't know anyone now? Like, how does it work with new coaches? Yeah. And I'm just like, what's going on? Is they still to honor my scholarship? Do I still? Golly, I should have went to LSU. Like, I'm just thinking all type of crazy stuff at this point. So next thing I know, you know, it's midway through the season at Ohio State, Braxton's first year, and your last year, I believe, right? And the new staff get wind of, you know, Urban's going to be coaching, and he already picking out his guys and all that stuff. So I think it's around Thanksgiving, and the staff is pretty much set, I mean, for Urban. But even though, you know, you guys are getting ready to play a team up north. And Coach Herman comes to see me in military school. And at this point, I got all the tricks of the trades in military school now. Like, we play football there, too. So we had away games. Like, we played in Ashland. We played, you know, a couple other schools in Virginia and stuff like that. So I bought a prepaid phone. I bought a prepaid cell phone because the phones we can use on campus, it was like, you know, it's probably 300-400 people on campus, you know, and it's like 8 pay phones, but only like 3 of them work.
Right.
Wow.
And all of us get free time at the exact same time.
You was in jail for real, bro?
I was in jail. It's like jail. So it was, dude, it was insane. So I remember Coach Herman finally coming to meet me and stuff, and he talking to me like, yeah, you know, all the positions are open next year, blah, blah, blah. We still want you to come. We're going to honor your scholarship and all this stuff. So the thing I know about Urban Meyer is Tim Tebow and all that stuff and all the running quarterbacks.
Right.
And I'm like, you know,
this ain't
I'm
it.
like, don't let the high school stats fool you in like rushing yards.
Right.
I'm like, that wasn't in the season. That was in my career. Like, that freaking 2,000-something yards, that's my career. So probably like 400 or 500 yards a season and really not on much design runs, all on scrambles or broken plays.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was my main concern. I was like, you know, that ain't my cup of tea. You know, that ain't my cup of tea is like, you know, running the ball. He's like, no, we're going to play to our guys' strengths and things like that. So clearly, it was all a lot.
Yeah.
Big time.
It was all a lot. It was all a lot. And granted, to Coach Herman's point, I mean, we all know in some forms of recruiting, there's a little lying goes on.
Oh, no
You
question.
try to get the players that you
Mhm.
want, try to fill up spots because I think we were on the probation ban the following year. Because my freshman year we ended up going 12-0, and we couldn't play for the championship. That was we couldn't play anything.
Right.
So still wanted to get guys in there to have a solid foundation for the following year. So it was almost like they were almost recruiting for the next season because we couldn't play for anything
Right.
my freshman year. So all that goes on, and then I finally get on campus, and it's just a whirlwind there too.
I mean, y'all had a room full of what? J.T. was there.
He was there my second year.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, he was there my second year. My first year was me, Braxton, KG,
KG.
and golly, Sims.
What
What is Justin
Justin,
Sims.
yeah.
Yeah. So it was us, and Braxton just started the year before. It was him and Bosman, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, going back and forth. Then he kind of took over, and he really broke out versus team up north. I mean, I don't think you guys ended up losing the game, but the way he played as a freshman was unbelievable.
Right.
So it was like, okay, clearly he's going to be our guy. This guy's going
Right.
to lead us to wherever we're going.
Right.
So, and that happened to be the case. And me being a young player, still culturally shell-shocked, still coming into Coach Meyer and his way of life and his way of teaching, his way of coaching was completely different from what I'm used to. Not saying different in a bad way, but different in a way that he holds everyone from the fifth string kicker, if you got one, accountable to the starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So me being a guy that I know I'm not going to see no playing time, I'm just going through the motions of like, why do I got to be first in running? Why do I got to be first at lifting? Why I got to be last one out here in meetings?
Right.
Like I don't start. I don't play. I do that. Like my time would come, then I think about doing that stuff, and that did not sit well with him.
Yeah.
That did not sit well with him. So our relationship in the beginning was pretty much,
Y'all was banging heads.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mainly because of me, because I didn't embrace that style of culture, basically holding everyone accountable on the same level. Which, looking back on it, is a great way, because you making not everyone accountable, but you making everyone feel important. But I'm like, dude, if I beat everybody in running and all this other crap, which I know I'm not gonna do,
Yeah.
I'm still ain't gonna play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, dude, whatever. My time to come, I try to beat everybody in running, or I try to be first or last. It don't matter. So that caused a lot of turmoil. I can remember Coach Meyer, always saying like, pull me to the side, because when you do good stuff, he kind of look at you. Okay, yeah, you can play, you can do this, you can do this. But it was horrible for me, because when I did good stuff, or when I ran hard, or did something that's out of the norm, when I finally decided to play hard as a freshman, definitely on scout team, it's like, okay, this kid can play, but why don't he do this all the time? So that made it even worse.
Right.
That made it even worse. I get mad or something like, okay, then can't play. Watch this. I'm about to ball out today or something like that. I have a decent practice, and he put me to the side like, dude, like, you're never going to make it. Never going to make it here. And I'm thinking to myself, I just had the best practice in my life. I feel like I just had to practice better than I ever played a game. But just a simple fact of the consistency level, because I didn't think every play was important. I didn't think every practice was important, because being young and immature, I'm not playing.
You ain't think school was important either, huh?
Clearly. Clearly. But no. The funny part, what's funny about that tweet, though? The funny thing about that tweet is that, I actually take academics very serious.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about that, I tweeted that, granted I was completely wrong for tweeting it, even though I might have felt that way at that time. I tweeted that because I got a B+ on an advanced sociology exam. I was pissed. I should have got an A. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
And I'm pissed. I'm like, man. But you know what? The good thing about that tweet is that the tweets that followed behind that tweet didn't get brought up. Because I was like, what the hell this social class got to do with being a quarterback? This shit is stupid. Let me see you damn professors go out here and throw a football. And I'm like, you know what? I'm happy that one got brought up the worst, because I was going in.
It was so much more.
Yeah. And then the worst part about the whole situation is, so we had a guy, our academic guy, who was responsible for, our tutoring schedule.
Was it Meeker?
No, it wasn't Darren.
Okay.
It wasn't Darren. Darren had just my freshman year. Darren had just switched over to every sport but football.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mako took over football, hands-on, and then Pierre. I forgot Pierre's last name, but Pierre. Funny story about Pierre. He was the guy. You guys remember when the team up north lost at home versus Appalachian State.
Yeah.
And they blocked the field goal.
Mhm.
He the guy blocked it.
Wow.
Seriously.
Pierre was the guy
Okay.
that blocks it. So,
All right.
yeah. So that's the funny story about Pierre. So
we gave him a job based off the
Right.
block. Ohio State hired him based off the damn block
exactly.
kick.
Exactly. So, like I said, I met Pierre. He was our academic guy. So, all this stuff is going on. I guess the dean get a call, Gene get a call, Urban get a call, my position coach get a call, Pierre get a call. So Pierre, he knew I took academics seriously. Like,
Right.
I was always on time with tutor and all that stuff. Like he was my boy. You know what I'm saying? And we getting ready. It was the day before we getting ready to play Nebraska at home. And this is like a top matchup team and top. I think that was like first year in the Big Ten actually, or the first year we played them as they was in the Big Ten. So huge game, night game. So it's like, okay, all our focus on Nebraska. This is gonna be huge. And so Pierre tried to cover for me, right? So I get a text from my coach. Yeah, come to Coach Herman. Like, meet us in Coach Meyer's office.
You already know what time it was.
I'm like, for what? I didn't even know about Twitter. My Twitter going ham. I get a lot of retweets and stuff. I'm like, yeah, my Twitter popping now.
Right.
Like, what's up? So I'm like, so Pierre. As soon as we walk in the door, it's Coach Meyer, it's freaking President Gee at the time.
Dang.
Gene.
That's my guy right there. President Gee.
Good guy.
Love him to death.
Gene, Coach Herman, and Pierre. So I walk in the door. I'm like, damn, it was a fucking party. Hey, what's up? I'm like, what's up? Like, it's like, so Pierre talked to me first. He's like, Cardale, hey, I was trying to tell him that you just broke up with your girl, and like, you didn't tweet that she hacked your phone, and she was posting all that stuff on Twitter.
Oh, that's your man's man.
And I was like, no, no, that was me. Like a dummy.
Right.
And he just looking at me like this, and I know he feel all the eyes staring at the back of his head. Like
I'm just covering
oh.
for you. And you threw me
Yes,
under the bus like
yes,
that.
didn't even notice. I'm like, because at the time I didn't think that was wrong with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, no, that was me. What's up? It was like, well, we getting emails from professors talking about, oh, you guys got players that don't take school seriously, and I'm paying $60,000-$70,000 for my kid to come here and all that other stuff. But it was all bad. I was just like, ooh.
But in retrospect, it got a conversation sparked, not just at Ohio State, but everywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that shit is important when you get those conversations sparked and you got players that are spending more time at the athletic facility than they are and they have time to do their studies. It makes you wonder, like, I mean, do we come here to play school or play football?
But if we really want to have that conversation, that debate, and I'm only going to have this conversation with open-minded people like you yourself and people who've been through the process and not just Ohio State. I love to have this conversation with anyone who's at the Alabamas, who's at the team up north, who's at the Penn States, the Clemsons, the USCs, all these top universities that's based off athletics
Right.
and bringing in all the billions of dollars off athletics. I would love to have the conversation with any athlete or any one administrator. Because what do kids say when they commit out of high school? What do you say? What do they say? What do they say to that? Hey, I'm committing to Ohio State for my next 4 years academics. No offense. I mean, we get it. We get it. It's a part of it. Our athletic ability is the avenue to receive higher education. We get that, but we're not getting a dean coming to recruiting us. We're not getting these athletic advisors coming to recruit us. We're getting our football coaches coming to recruit us. And to the coach's point, they're selling academics, a great university, great degree, and things like that, which it is. But still, as a kid, as a 18, 19, 20-year-old kid, why should I be punished, or why should I be looked down on because of my dreams and goals don't necessarily include academics?
Right. And obviously, you graduated and you took it serious. So just for the listeners out there, Cardale is a guy that takes academics absolutely serious.
Sure.
So I don't want them to misconstrue anything.
That's why I can confidently have this conversation,
right?
Because I got my degree. It's not like, oh, he just a dumb athlete, just want to play. Yeah, I get it. Your academics is very important because athletics, no sport is going to last forever, and everyone's not going to have the opportunity we have and we had to play on a higher level. I totally get that, but why not? If we're spending all this time on athletics, each day, each week, you're gonna shun me for kind of almost not taking athletics as serious or taking my craft serious.
When you shown me, when you really break it all the way down, what's a little bit more important at times? I think when you look at the landscape of the NCAA, I think they've shown us in specific situations that the athletics is going to be the driving force for the NCAA.
Absolutely.
It brings in so much money. So you kind of show me, all along that, you know what, all right, grades and getting a degree is cool for the schools to sell to the parents. But when it comes down to it, if I got a guy that's not producing, what's going to happen? He's going to be on the bench. If I got a coach that's not producing, wins, he's not going to be there.
You got to go.
If I got a coach not producing, let's say I got a coach that's going 8-4 every year in a bowl game, win one, lose one, win one, lose one, but he got 85% graduation rate. You think this motherfucker will be fired?
Yeah.
Don't come to me with that academic shit.
Right.
That shit will bring in more money if you got 4,000 kids on the dean's list and doing this and doing that, academically great, or you win a national title. What's bringing in more money?
You already know. And that's
a great point.
What's going to be driving factor too? So don't I understand. I get it. Academics is important, but don't try to make it seem like it's way more important, and it should be athletics should be shown upon versus academics.
Mm-hmm.
Are they equally important? I don't know. And it's some people's life, maybe. It's
all relative.
It's relative, but let's not make it. Let's not try to make it bigger than what it is.
Right.
So.
I want to fast forward a little bit. Obviously, we get to the point of you're at Ohio State. You're in a situation to where you're not playing as much. How hard was it? Because I know as an individual, when you believe in your ability and you know your ability, and everybody around you is saying, that motherfucker right there can throw.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best quarterback we got on his team, but you're not playing, and you're hearing that from so many different people, and you personally know it. How difficult is it to be in that situation? Because I'll tell you what, I was here.
Yeah.
That boy from Glenville, that boy can sling the rock.
Mm-hmm.
He can play. He should be the starting quarterback at Ohio State, but because of the way the system was set up, it was a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
So how hard was that to accept and to digest throughout your time here?
It was extremely, because I didn't believe I was the best player, best quarterback on the team until maybe my second year.
Mm-hmm.
First year coming in, okay, golly, got to do all this random stuff. I don't know. But I witnessed games where we had to play with KG, and he'd go out and break school record with passing yards and touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, you don't need to be a running quarterback for this offense.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, shit, I like third deep. I like the third. I can read that play. I can do this. I can do that. I don't need to run. And then a couple of times, KG can't run out of daylight. He can't run out of daylight. But he got enough skills. He got enough. He keep you honest with his running.
Yeah.
And then he's a threat when he pull it down and run off a pass play. And I feel like I was the exact same way.
Mm-hmm.
So at certain points, I feel like, well, golly, I would have threw it here. And then just the competitive nature. And granted, I played with, 2 Heisman Trophy candidates every year they was at school, Braxton and J.T.
Right.
So it's not like they were far from bums.
Right.
But in that situation and in our system, I think personally they were better for that. But my thing is, after the year we won the national title, that following year, so the whole turmoil going through that year, I won the national title. The thing was that KG had just left, so now me and JT was battling for the backup spot. I won the job in spring, and in my personal opinion, because I wasn't Urban's guy. I mean, JT was the first quarterback he recruited at Ohio State. He opened a battle back up in camp, and because Braxton, he didn't participate in no spring ball because his shoulder, he got hurt versus Clemson, the previous year. So won the battle in spring, then he decided to open back up in fall, which I don't know why, but he has his reasons. Which it's still playing out because. Right. JT, had one of the best freaking careers in Ohio State history. So, just going through all that turmoil, and I felt like at the time I won the battle in the camp as well. But you ain't battling for the backup spot now. Braxton throw one pass and his shoulder is done. So we knew it was something serious. He got thrown and he didn't get touched and he goes down. So now you're looking for a starting quarterback, just like that.
Right.
Second, third day at camp, not no backup.
Yeah.
We all pretty hyped because we got a lot coming back. We got Braxton about to come back. We about to take over. And in that offense and that style of play, we play with the quarterback. Your number 2 better be ready.
Right.
So if I'd have won a number 2 spot, I'd have like this shit. I start. Right. Because you never know. And then definitely Braxton was coming off injury. I'm like, you never know. So JT ended up winning the spot, and I'm like, you know what? Well, yeah, the coaches didn't announce it to us until like maybe the week of getting ready to play Navy up in Maryland. So, he won the spot. We both getting reps with the ones in practice, getting ready for the game. And Herman is telling us like, hey, telling me stay ready. You're going to play, stuff like that. I'm like, shit, bet. I'm like, bet. So, yeah, I'm ready, And we playing Army. And, we're not looking as good. I mean, it's his first game of the season, first start for JT. So we're struggling. I think we end up beating them like 13 to like maybe 20 or 23 or something like that.
Was this the game in Baltimore?
Yes.
I went to that game.
Yeah. So I am thinking like, okay, well, it's tight like in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, JT ain't playing great, but he ain't playing bad.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm definitely gonna get a chance at least to see what I can do. It's a tight game. This would be perfect opportunity. Never got a chance. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. We won the game. I'm happy. Then the following week come out, we play Virginia Tech at home. Home opener night game. It's crazy. We know the style of defense they play. We feel like we know these guys like the back of our hand. Good team. Come in and destroy us. We give up 7 to 8 sacks, 3 or 4 interceptions, and at this point, it's like in the third quarter, and I'm like, I'm definitely about to play. And granted, the success and the failures of the offense is going to be shown on the quarterback.
Right.
So, he giving up sacks, but guys getting beat pretty fast, and he throwing interception off tip passes. Granted, everything might not be his fault, but shit, his stats look horrible. Let me get a chance now. I'm like, I'm really about to get a chance now. And the style of defense they was playing, you had to throw the ball deep. That was it.
Right.
They were playing zero. They had an extra hat. That was it. So I'm like, I'm definitely getting a chance. And didn't get a chance. So at this point, I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to keep getting better, and then we'll see what happens. So he just freaking comes on out of nowhere. JT is playing ridiculous, throwing like 5-6 touchdowns, running for like 2 or 3. Every game is averaging like almost 600 yards of offense. It got to a point we were playing Indiana, and he was struggling a little bit, and we ended up still pulling it out. But, he was struggling to a point, and he got banged up a little bit too. So, like, every time he, like, limping off the field, something like that. So, I'm like, I'm definitely about to play this game. And he didn't. I didn't. So, he ended up finishing the game pretty strong and things like that. So, I remember having to talk with Coach Herman, like, hey, man, like, I don't think I'm going to be here next season. Because, you guys are keep praising me in practice on how hard I'm playing, how hard I'm practicing, the good things I'm doing.
Right.
But, I mean, are you going to put me in a game? Like, that's not doing anything for me. That's not doing anything for the goals I set for myself. And Coach Herman, I remember these words like it was yesterday. He always told me, like, for one, he wouldn't sign my transfer release papers. 2, he said that, when you got a quarterback, no matter what the situation is, within reason, you always want to make him feel like his team, he the guy, and we go win or lose with him. And I totally got that. I'm like, you know what? I understand. And then at the time, too, me and JT was super close, too.
Right.
Y'all roommates, right?
Yeah. Well, no, we weren't roommates damn near. We always together.
Okay.
So it got to a point where, like I said, he just came on and like, it was like, no looking back. I'm like, shit, well, I'll be ready. Whenever I'm cheering for him, too, but it's like a bittersweet. Only one guy get to play.
Right. That got to be hard, too, man, especially when you know that the coaches do like you from the relationship obviously you're describing with Tom Herman. And then your ability, and then you're watching on field a product not look as great as it can be, especially at times.
Yes, exactly.
And then, I'm gonna be honest. It's not looking as great as it can be from a quarterback perspective in terms of dropping back and passing the ball.
Exactly.
It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be in that situation. So, was it a point in time? All right. So when you having that conversation, your conversation was basically going to him saying, you know what, I'm gonna be leaving and transferring. So was that the thought?
Yeah, I was like, hey, this guy's playing great, unbelievable. He's playing out of his mind right now. Braxton's coming back next year. There's no room for me. This is before I even got a chance for mop up duty anything. I'm not stupid.
Right.
Clearly, one of these guys got to be the quarterback next year. And in my opinion, it's going to be Braxton because he's coming back. Out of respect, it got to be him. And then even if it's not, out of shit that his guy's doing, it's going to be him.
Right.
And I'm the odd man out. You know what I'm saying? You play with 2 quarterbacks, but not 3.
Right.
Sometimes you play with 2, but not 3. So I'm just basically telling like, hey, it's not like no hard feelings. Oh, screw Ohio State. You guys treated me real. No, at times I feel like I did get mistreated or didn't get as equal a fair shot. But at that time in my career, we were rolling. Right. I didn't care. It wasn't like, hey, coach, I'm about to shut it down for the rest of the season. Screw you guys. No, I was going to still be in there on time, doing everything I got to do as if I was a starter because I understood my role at this point. I got past that young, arrogant Cardale Jones who
I'm glad you did, my boy.
who didn't understand my position and my role, not just on the team but within the university. So I passed that point. So it's like whatever I got to do for the team, I'm going to do it.
Right.
There was times where, I was running scout team receiver because, guys are banged up. Well, I run this fly route. You just needed it. I wasn't getting the ball, but let me run it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the type of culture we developed. That's definitely in our quarterback room, starting with KG. He used to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, let me do it. Like, oh, it's a clear out route. I do it. Watch out. You don't need to run that. Like, you got to get ready for Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a culture that we had in that room.
I remember KG when I was in school, he running off on kickoff, man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
doing whatever, man.
Exactly. Because you
That's what's up.
understand it. You just get it. But, fast forward now, we get into the Team Up North game of the year we win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, JT goes down. And I'm like, what?
Oh, snap.
Exactly. Here we go, baby.
Let's get it.
I like this. They screaming for me. They like, where's Cardale? I'm already on the field throwing. I'm ready. I'm already on the field throwing. They yelling for me. Dale, get him a ball, get him a ball. I threw 6 passes already. I'm ready. My helmet's on. I'm on the field. It's like, no, it's a TV timeout. Oh, it's like, bring them back. I don't care.
Right.
I'm ready.
Right. Let's get it.
Because JT was still one of the toughest players I ever played with. I mean, we went to Penn State, and he had a freaking, banged up meniscus or banged up knee, something like that. And he ran 2 touchdowns in overtime, and he made contact at the 5-yard line.
Right.
With a banged up knee. So I knew when he went down and
was
wasn't
serious.
getting up,
Mhm.
shit, my helmet's already buckled up. I'm biting down on my mouthpiece so hard, throwing the ball like this. Look down my shot.
That's what you've been waiting on.
Exactly. That's what you waited on that moment.
Patience, man.
Granted, you don't want your time and your moment to come
Right.
and someone else, downfall or
Right.
injury.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to be ready.
Nature of the
You
beast.
got to be ready
Yeah,
at
you gotta
all
be ready.
times. Next man up.
So,
Exactly.
So
Talk about that, man.
For sure.
you obviously get to the point where you're the guy at this point. We know we're going to the Big Ten championship game. Man, how was the weeks leading up to that, the preparation, and what was the mentality like?
Well, so when JT went down, it was still a tight game between us and the Team Up North.
Mhm.
It was still tight. And the funny thing about that, I mean, I beat them 4 years in a row, and I only wear 1 pair of gold pants. The game I played in, because I went out and played it.
Hey, that's
But
respect.
yeah, for sure. I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck them other ones. I don't care. I mean, we won, but I didn't play. But so we end up pulling the game out. I think about maybe 9-10 points or something like that. But you got a week to get ready for the number 1 defense, the top 3 defense in the country, and that's another thing people don't realize. We played against the top 3 defense. We played against number 1, 2, and 3 defenses in the country. We played against, and all 3 of them had a Heisman Trophy candidate on their team.
Right.
Wisconsin, Alabama, and Oregon. Mariota ended up winning for Oregon.
Right.
So we playing against pretty good teams at this point. So getting ready for Wisconsin Big Ten championship game. I mean, it's a quick turnaround. Of course, being thrown into the fire like that. After 2 quarterbacks and when 2 Heisman Trophy quarterbacks and went down. You dealing with media.
Oh,
you
man.
dealing with influence outside of this. Now, you got all your buddies saying, "Oh yeah, I know you've been waiting on this and blah blah blah, this and that, this and that." You know how all that crap goes. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm not gonna change anything I've been doing this whole time because I understood the role I was in. I always prepared like a starter. So, one thing I hated going into that week and into that whole 3-game stretch. As like the media, it's normal from the outside looking in. Media talking about, how much you got to dumb down the offense for them and what you can't do.
Like
I'm
that's
like,
disrespectful.
motherfucker, you don't think I've been sitting in the meeting room for 3 years?
Exactly.
You think this shit didn't just fucking change?
It's just been straight disrespectful.
I'm like, dumb down the offense.
Give it to me all.
I'm like, why? Why would we change what we doing? You think I haven't been sitting in every meeting room and every meeting since the day I stepped on campus about this offense, about defenses, about everything? Like, dumb down the offense was such an insight. I was like, you know what? Fuck you guys. But so that's one thing I didn't let play into effect. But I mean, of course, everyone say you try to tune the media out, but you read a little bit of the shit, you see stuff. Give you a little edge, give you a little chip on your shoulder, add a chip on your shoulder. But going to that game, man, was just like, I think my first pass was a decent pass to the right, but after that first touchdown, I was like, "Oh, here we go."
Your confidence.
Yeah, I was like, "Here we go."
Yeah.
It's like the weight, everything was just lifted off me.
Yeah.
Because I never felt like I had to do it all on my own because I was surrounded by freaking dogs.
Right.
Zeke, and I had Devin Smith, I had Mike Thomas, I had freaking 3 of my offensive linemen went the first round.
Yeah.
And freaking, I'm not even gonna speak about the guys on defense.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, that 3-game stretch, them guys don't get enough credit. They played literally against the 3 Heisman Trophy frontrunners.
Right.
And I mean, candidates, and shut them all down.
Tore them up.
Shut them all down. So, after that, man, I was like, you know what, dude, these guys are beasts. Like, I'm going to just get the ball to these guys. That's literally, it was nothing I had to do extra or more. And like I said, I didn't change anything in my routine. Still putting in, the right amount of hours to prepare for games and everything. But the hardest part was preparing for the bowl game. Because you get all that time off.
Right.
And which was the first playoff game at that point. So we end up jumping TCU and Baylor in a playoff poll.
They didn't have a conference game, so
they didn't have a conference championship game. Yeah. So we ended up jumping them guys, and then we, 4th seed. So now we play Alabama, and I didn't know we were even in the playoff. I remember after the game, getting back, to campus, and I'm driving up to go see my family, hang out because we get a couple of days off. I didn't even watch the little show that they have for it and all that crap. I just get a text and calls. Coach Meyer called me, hey, we're in the playoffs. We're gonna play Alabama. We're gonna, be ready. So I'm like, cool, whatever.
Right.
It's a game. Yeah, it's a game. Like it's a big game, but I'm not gonna. Oh, Alabama, let me make sure I do it, man. No, I'm gonna continue to go through the process. I'm gonna continue to go through my routine that I developed. That that I finally got a chance to test, the week before, and I think it's successful. So, yeah, you go tweak it a little bit, do a little extra here and there, but I'm not about to kill myself. Oh, my God, I got to do this, But all that happening, of course, winning the national title that season, and then that following year, now JT is back healthy. Now Braxton is back healthy. Now you got me. And I'm just like, golly.
I want to slow you down real quick before we get there.
Yeah.
Because I want to really know what went into the decision to come back. Because
that's exactly what I want to know.
It was Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, and then it was really up for grabs.
Yeah.
In terms of what quarterbacks were going to be drafted. And I know your name was thrown up there a whole lot. This guy could be a first-round pick, second, third-round pick if he comes out right now based off of three biggest games of his career, essentially.
Exactly.
So what the hell made you come back?
You sound like everybody asking. You should have came back. You should have. Well, in my personal opinion, man, some things that some coaches said. I'm not going to put the coaches out there like that, but some things that the coaches said. How you go through all the draft process and all the coaches when I ask your coaches about you. Some things that they said really didn't sit well with a lot of NFL scouts. And in my point, I mean, maybe they were telling the truth, maybe they're telling their personal opinion about me, but it was, think about it. You got two guys coming back off injury that might not be ready to go for spring, might not be ready to go for the beginning of the following season. So was that a kind of a recruiting tactic to get me to come back so you have a healthy quarterback to start that season? I don't know. Was it that honest opinion? I don't know. Was it they didn't like me? I don't know. I cannot answer that question confidently. But the things that they said to certain NFL scouts, and you know how it is, only 32 teams, so the word get around quick.
Right.
It wouldn't have been a good decision to come out. I wanted to come out. Because I knew what we had coming back. And I'm like, shit, we won that time. That's what I come here for. I'm out of here. See you guys later.
Right. So you wanted to both.
I wanted to come out.
Gotcha.
Yes. But like you said, you got Marcus and James clearly number 1 and number 2 quarterbacks, and they was number 1 and 2 picks. And like I said, it was up for grabs. But what do you want to see your quarterback do? You want to see him win big games. I just won 3.
The biggest games you can ask somebody to win.
Yeah, I think
it wasn't no more you had to do, in my opinion. That's what I thought.
Same thing. I mean, of course, a little more experience will help.
Right.
Experience will go a long way.
Yeah.
But when I'm thinking about that dog player, I'm thinking about who's going to show up in big games. I don't care how much experience you got. I want to know who going to show up in them big games.
Right.
You did that.
Exactly. And then, like you guys know, you got them practice players who dogs at practice and can't play in
games.
games.
Do nothing.
And you got guys who ain't
Spring
so
ball.
good in practice. Exactly. You got some guys who ain't so good in practice, but you ain't questioning them in the game. You like to, you sit out. Like Bosa. Like our third year, Bosa did not practice. John Simon did not practice last year as much because he was a guy that can wreck practice.
Right.
And then he was a guy when he didn't go, he just made everything look horrible. You know what? Just get 2-3 reps individual. I'll see you Saturday.
But you know what they was going to bring to the
you already knew.
That's what my opinion. That's what type of guy I think I was. I was going to show up in the game if I had a good or bad practice that week. I don't care because I know I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure I'm putting our team in the best position to win. If it's running the ball, if it's running over a 300-pounder, if it's anything. If it's what I got to do to help our team win and, set aside the personal achievements and the personal accolades that I may want, I'm going to do it.
Now, was it hard after you had heard, from certain scouts, certain teams, agents?
It was extremely.
Was it hard to say, you know what, I'm coming back to Ohio State?
Extremely.
Because I know me, if I'm hearing my coaches is talking shit, that's even more reason
I'm out.
For me to say, you know what, I don't want to be a part of this.
It was extremely hard because, then that's like I said, then you got the whole tactic of, okay, what was it? Do they really think that way? or was it a recruiting tactic to keep me here? Because like I
Right.
said, you don't have two
You don't
healthy
really know,
quarterbacks.
right.
Or was it they really feel this way about me? I just, I mean, some things I was doing in them games, it's like I'm putting my whole every game. You
Right.
putting your body, you putting your livelihood on the line
for sure.
for this style game. And I remember come back to the sideline, a couple things I do in the field, try to run someone over, jump over someone. It's like, dude, you can't do that. We don't have another quarterback. No, I'm gonna do what we got to do to win.
Right.
So I'm putting.
If that
I'm
happened,
I'm not
Right.
playing.
Yeah.
Oh, make sure I don't get hurt because who's gonna be the quarterback? No, I'm not. I ain't got that mindset.
Yeah.
So having that whole trying to deal with that dilemma in your head, and you try to get past it. You say, you know what? Well, another year won't help me. It won't hurt me. Experience won't hurt me. And then we had another great team, chance to win it again.
Right.
So going into that following season, do I think I was ready for the NFL at that point? I think, I think a couple of life-changing decisions would have had to happen for me to be ready to play in the NFL. Because like I said, everything happened so fast. Going from not playing in mop-up duties to playing in 3 biggest games to having a chance to play in the NFL. That would have been
Not just playing, winning them things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot that comes with that. But going into that following season, man, we got everybody back, and I can remember talking to Coach Meyer like, hey, what's the plan as far as how we go do this? And he talked before he talked. Well, he talked to Braxton previously before he talked to me about what Braxton plans was. So he still want to play quarterback. Clearly, which would have been super understandable and respectable. I mean, it's been a tough pill to swallow if Braxton would have still wanted to play quarterback that following year after we won a national title, and he just got his job. But I would have totally understood that. I would have understood.
Would you?
I would have understood it.
Damn,
Far
that would
as
have been tough for me.
yeah, it's tough. I understood that far as loyalty to that player and what loyalty was show to that he showed to the university, everything he been through, how hard he been playing for this university, this team. I'd have got that as a coach, and you got to give him the chance to be the guy. But if that guy gets beat out, then let him get beat out.
Yeah.
Not just we're going to ride with this guy because he got us what he did previously.
Right.
And Braxton know his limitations. Braxton know what type of player he was. Braxton know his body. He decided to make that change to receiver. So Urban was like, hey, Braxton, he's going to change position because he don't feel like he can throw as good, no more with the shoulder injury, and, you and JT can battle it out. I respect that. Perfect. And one thing I mentioned to him before anything, this was 2-3 days after the national title because, they screwed up after the national title because it pushed it back the season a week further. The declared date didn't get pushed back. So after the national title, I had 2 days to decide.
Dang.
Yeah, so you really
2 days.
couldn't digest much of nothing.
Nothing. I'm talking to agents after the game. I'm doing this. I'm like, what is going on? I'm trying to go. I'm like, we about to go to XTC, guys. Like, come on. I'm like, yeah. We about to go turn up real quick.
Right.
Yeah. So everything is happening fast. So as soon as we fly back to Columbus, I try to go beat my family. And then when I say it was a whirlwind of everything, man, I just left my phone off for the next couple of days. I got maybe 4 hours of sleep. Like, it was just crazy. Like, I didn't know what was going on. So Urban gets wind I'm up in Cleveland. He comes up to see me. And then Coach Herman, our coach, he just took the job at Houston. So that's another thing. It's like, you know what? Coach Herman was really the only guy really believed in me.
Right.
That I can really say he really believed in not just me, my talents, and me and my character.
Right.
So when he left, it was like, golly, so the next guy coming here and fall in love with JT or Braxton.
Right.
Coach Herman was dialing the plays up. He was calling the plays.
Yeah.
And he knew he didn't dumb down our offense, but he knew he ain't about to call all these zone reads for me. It's gonna look like zone read, but I ain't reading nobody.
Right.
I'm gonna carry out my fake. He like this down, like I know you. Carry out your fake. He like just carry out your fake pretty hard. I said, I got you. I'm gonna do that hard 4 or 5 steps. Open, look, pull one guy.
Right.
I got a guy showing his damn abs and running everybody over. Get the ball, dude. Run hard as you can, fast as you can. But we had a couple of design quarterback runs that was effective. But that was the next thing I was thinking about, like who's gonna be calling plays, style of play call. So you're gonna.
Man, you had a lot, man.
Yeah, and it's like when Coach Herman, he does a great job of catering, So the difference between Coach Herman and Coach Warner, who's actually at the team up north now, who's our line coach, and he was our kind of run coordinator guy. Coach Warner called plays to get the offensive line in rhythm first, which he wanted the line to be aggressive and go on that guy. So he will run, and try to pass. Coach Herman, I'm trying to get my quarterback settled down. If that include a zone read, if that include a quick pass, that include a bomb, because Most time we came out the gate, we threw it deep. That's I'm like, throw it deep.
That's what you
First
want.
play, I want to throw it deep. That's it. I don't care. I gotta get loose. I got to get the jitters out. I got to throw it deep. I don't care if it's incomplete, interception, anything. I got the jitters out.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then, like, it used to be plays like, okay, I'm waiting until he 40, 50 yards downfield to throw it too. I'm like, I'm about to let it go.
Right.
You know, so he called plays to get the quarterback comfortable first. And Coach Warner was completely different. So that's what I had to deal with my following years, Coach Warner. And it was like, the first thing I tell Urban is like, hey, you know, whatever the situation is, I don't care if I get beat out, none of that stuff. I don't want a two quarterback system because our play style is completely different.
Yeah, I mean, and that's tough on a guy. I mean,
Yeah.
on any player when you're touching the ball to have to rotate, you can't get into a rhythm.
Exactly.
So I can definitely see why a quarterback wouldn't want that.
Exactly. So you know what's funny, man? We go into camp and we didn't realize how much talent we had until we got to camp. Even though we just played spring ball together, we said, oh shit, Mike is right here.
Man,
oh,
y'all was
shit.
loaded.
Dontre Wilson. Oh shit, Curtis Samuel. Oh shit, Jalen Marshall. Oh shit, Zeke. Oh shit, Mike Weber.
Y'all ain't got no
Oh
balls.
shit, me and J.T. Oh shit, Braxton won't play receiver now. Fuck. Nick Van Nett. Oh my God. Then everybody on defense, like, just go get the ball. Just go get the ball on defense. We was like, oh my God, what is going on? So we go, a couple of older guys on the team, we go to Coach Meyer like, hey man, we get it. There's only one ball. We get it. So we gonna have to swallow a pill.
Right.
Every game we gonna have to swallow. Maybe we got to run the ball 50 times a game to win. And receivers ain't getting it. Maybe we got to throw it 50 times a game. And Zeke gonna get 3 carries. We get it, but don't let that. We don't, please, because we went through it. We experienced it the first scrimmage you have in camp. We experienced that. They were trying to get the guys ball. They wouldn't call them plays. They were trying to, let's make sure Braxton get 4 or 5 catches. Let's make sure Mike get this.
Right.
We looked awful. We looked awful.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we thinking like, why do we look so bad? And then, you know, the one offense going against the 2 defense, they killing us. Because we trying
won
to
a national championship.
Yeah, we trying to get guys the ball. We trying to make sure he gets touches,
Yeah.
keep guys happy. And we like, you know what, that shit ain't gonna work. Oh no, that ain't gonna work at all. So it's like, man, we gotta play. And you got 2 quarterbacks you trying to do that to.
Right.
So we were like, you know, we told them right after that scrimmage, you know, you get the off day after the scrimmage. We're like, we can't do that. For one, we can't have 2 quarterback systems because the offense completely changed. Now you got the line in 2 different grooves. Now the line, when I'm in, it's used to more so pass set and things like that. Now they got to run zone read. Now they got to run. I mean, you do it. You got to be, you know, the line can do it.
Right.
But it's like it's all about that rhythm. You know, it's like, is Zeke not getting the ball when I'm in? Or am I not going to run the ball? Like,
Right.
how are we going to do this? I'm not going to throw it deep when JT's in? Like, how are we going to do this? So we said we did not want that. And Coach like, yeah, no, we want to get guys the ball and this and that. We're going to, whoever, you know, we got to make sure we put our team in the best position to win, you know. So they was basically on the same page as us. Man, so quarterbacks have meetings in the offense and the staff room. And, you know, you got the big white board there, all the plays and all that stuff. And we're getting ready for the first game. Still don't know who the starter quarterback is. We in a week of the game. We both getting reps.
That's hard as hell, man.
So
we didn't know.
I know.
Kid you not. I kid you not.
They ain't take you to the day of the
I
game?
was showed day of the game. How about this? The day of the offense run on the field.
Wow.
Me and JT standing with Coach Meyer like this.
Right.
He like, Cardale, go. I'm like, okay. Literally did not know who the fuck was the starting quarterback.
That's
The
crazy.
offense was on the field.
Right.
And the 2, me and JT was standing on the streets. You go, like, is the first one to touch the field?
Right. Yeah.
Cardale, go. And I was like, what the hell? So we had in our office staff room, and we ended up playing Virginia Tech at their house, and we crushed them because we was way better prepared. And, you know, a couple of things I had to do in a run game, and that's another story I'm going to get into too. But our office staff board was, okay, Braxton Miller, it was number 1, number 3, number 17, number 4. These are all the guys. Okay, this game, he need 4 catches. He need 6 catches. That's how we get him the ball. It was how you get these guys
So
the
this
ball.
is how you break it. How the coaches are breaking it up.
This is how it's on the board.
That's crazy.
I'm like, what the fuck? What is that? I'm like, Coach Beck, what is that? Coach Beck, his is his first year. He don't know what he just got himself into.
Man, he don't know what he walked into.
He don't know. He the quarterback coach and kind of co-coordinator. But Coach Beck was a hell of a play caller at Nebraska. It was times my freshman year that Coach Herman would call Coach Beck on how to run certain plays because we stealing plays from everybody. You know how the shit goes.
Right.
And Coach Beck always at Nebraska had number 1 or number 2 offense in the country with Taylor Martinez and them guys they had. So he was used to the style of offense we was running. they didn't give him the keys to the offense when he first got there. I mean, kind of understandable. Coach Warner was already there, things like that, but he was not a great play caller, in my personal opinion.
I mean, I think that's everybody's when you break it down.
Yeah.
You can
Coach
see the
Warner
offense got to be stagnant at times.
Was not because he was that, okay, let's run the ball. Oh, shit, now we in 3rd and 8. Hey, throw it. Well, everybody know we throwing it, motherfucker. And I'm looking like I'm terrible. Everybody looking like he's terrible.
Wow.
So Coach Beck, he's just like, yeah, that's how they figure out how many touches guys. And he's like, yeah, Braxton need this many touches. And I'm just like, oh my God.
So would that creep in your head? Like, I mean, how am I supposed to do this? If
Not necessarily, but it creeped in your head like, don't call plays like that. Don't like if we killing it off tempo and we gotta keep running. Don't say don't do that anymore because we gotta get this guy a catch or two because you think he's gonna be pissed. No, we came to you at camp and said that. We understand that. It's only one fucking ball.
Yeah.
And we got all these great players. It's one ball that we get it. Like, so that happened. And we don't play Virginia Tech. And like I said, the year before, they played that Barrett cover 0. So they always had an extra hat. So a couple of checks that we had in the run game, I just tell the running back basically had like QQ, I think the call was. Basically, hey, I'm going to run your run play. You got to be the extra blocker. Because if I give it to you, it's a free hitter. So it wasn't working last year. It probably won't work this year. So I think I ran the ball maybe 8 to 9, 10 times that game. And I have probably over 100 yards rushing, but every hit was flipping my ass. Oh my God! And you don't feel none of that to the next day.
Was bad.
They was flipping me. Flow. And I'm running hard. I'm getting up like, yeah, first down, this and that. Sit down, you get back up like, what was that? What is that? Where that thought bruise coming from? So I tell Coach the next day, I'm like, hey man, I'm just really. Like,
I ain't built for this.
Yeah, I get it. I get it that we had to do that in that game. We had to because we needed that extra hat. But I'm like, is that going to be kind of our style of like play and everything like that? It's like no, but he's like he understood we had to need an extra hat. So it kind of it wasn't my style of play, and that's when J.T. still played that game too. He ended up throwing a touchdown that game too. And I was like, no, we don't plan on doing that with you. And I'm just like, well, me? What do you mean? I'm just thinking to myself, like, what do you mean? So you are, my head, oh, you basically said you weren't going to do a 2-quarterback system, and basically you are.
Yeah.
But with that, no one really realized that how bad me and him played in that. We played horrible.
I mean,
we both played horrible.
I could
when
see
both of us was in.
Nobody can get into a rhythm. You can't get a feel for what's going on in the game when you're playing that way.
Oh, my God, it was horrible. I still talk to Coach Herman to this day a lot, but call out the games. He's like, man, he's like, y'all won, but damn, like, you suck. And I was like, dude, yeah, we can't get in the rhythm and stuff like that. And then it got to a point when we had crossed the 20, 40, 20-yard line.
Couldn't get in. I remember that.
Yeah, couldn't get in. Or he put J.T. in. I was just like, what the hell? So, and it's probably like the 5th game of the season. I tell Coach, like, hey, I don't feel comfortable as a starter. And this is where our relationship took another turn for the worse. Me and Coach Meyer. So I talked to him, I go to him like, hey, me and Coach Beck, because, Coach Beck kind of expressed the same type of, issue because he wanted more responsibility calling plays. So I said, hey, I just don't feel comfortable when I'm in the game because, bad pass or good pass, I'm looking to the sideline getting the signals. I already see him warming up. I'm getting a signal out there. Why is this motherfucker throwing the ball? Let's try to run a play.
Wow.
I'm just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So
you can't go out and play like that. I
yeah.
mean,
So what pissed me off? Like one thing no one can ever do. I mean, granted, I'm never going to finish sprints first. I'm never going to finish conditioning first. I'm not probably going to be biggest, strongest, fastest guy, but I'm gonna bust my ass.
Right.
I'm at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you compete against yourself.
Right.
And if you beat everybody else in the sprints and all this condition, okay, that's good for you. But I'm not about to go beat Braxton Miller on a 3-cone drill. It ain't gonna happen.
Right.
But I'm gonna try to close that gap every fucking time we go. So this is what pissed me off with coaching, and this is where kind of relationship took another hit. He told me that, oh, you got plans on playing NFL? I said, yeah, I want to. That's my dream. That's my goal. You don't think you always gonna be looking over your shoulder? The next guy always gonna want your job. So he took that. And I took that as he was questioning my competitiveness of why I'm worried about him already warming up. And I'm like, excuse me? Are you like I get it, we got 2 great players. But I told him straight up, like, if I'm the backup, I'll be the backup. I want to know my role. I want to know my place on the team.
Yeah.
Don't tell me I'm the starter and don't treat me like it.
Right.
Don't do that. I'll be way more comfortable doing backup. And I'm just like, looking at him, I'm just like, what? Like, no. I'm like, no, it's not like that in NFL. because your starter's making $20 million plus a year. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna win or lose with them.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't no situation we don't know who the starter is. We got 2 bum players. We got 2 great players. I get that, I understand that, but it's one quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And one ball.
Exactly. And that's when they try to do all the start trying to do me and him on the field. So I'm like, you know what, dude? Tell Coach Beck, I ain't no gadget guy. I ain't doing it. Like, not necessarily I ain't doing like I won't go play. Like, come on, like, dude, like what are we doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not gonna put you in the best. It's not gonna put the team in the best situation.
It's not putting nobody. It's not trying. Stop trying to make us happy. And we both already expressed this problem to y'all because we both playing horrible.
Right.
When we both playing.
Yeah.
When he's starting to drive where I'm starting to drive, we're starting again. We both playing horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Because the 2 plays, he run off the sideline. If it was 3 and out, I'm already warming up.
That's crazy.
And you can see that, man. You can see
It was horrible.
Yeah.
they thinking too much about how to be creative.
Just let one guy roll.
How much of that do you think them thinking too much and trying to be creative and trying to do these exotic things? How much do you think that had to do with the exit of Tom Herman? I think that's what everybody went to.
Well, no,
from the outside looking in.
You know, it wasn't because Herman left after we won the national title,
Mhm.
and when we won the national title, we had our guys. We didn't have that issue. I mean, we had playmakers, but we didn't have that issue that we had the following season because now you got 3 Heisman Trophy quarterbacks in one room,
Mm-hmm.
and now you got Zeke just ran
Took
200
off.
plus,
Right.
200 plus in every game he just played in, and then you got all these receivers too. So Herman was already gone for that part. But when it comes to creativeness and getting guys the ball and within the flow of the offense,
Mhm.
Herman was amazing at that.
Right.
You know,
So they did struggle with him with the flow aspect.
Well, we struggle. I think our struggles came after he left.
Okay.
But his departure wasn't the reason or upcoming seeing future struggles because he had an opportunity to be a head coach.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm saying he was so good at what he was doing on the offensive end.
Exactly.
When he left, the offense was kind of out of sync.
Yeah, it was
definitely
out of sync. It was definitely out of sync.
You could
The
see
way
that.
we call plays. Like I said, then you're dealing with a new play caller. Coach
Yeah.
Warner's calling plays to get the line involved, and you going, okay, let's go cab here, let's go crunch here, and we in third
And you thinking this guy gotta get 5 catches, this guy gotta get 4 catches. He need
Exactly.
to come on, man.
Exactly.
So your mind just was just
All over the place. So we go ahead. No, go ahead.
Going back to that season, and I don't know where we are at this point, but get to the Michigan State game.
Yeah,
and-
here we go. Here we go.
And how difficult. And that was a game that you should have won. Michigan State's quarterback is out. Connor Cook is the quarterback at the time, right?
yeah. Connor Cook.
He's
yep.
out. They're playing the backup.
Mhm.
Man, how hard was that of a pill to swallow?
It was extremely because we go through. Now getting to that part of the season, we played Maryland, and they gave Coach Beck keys to the offense that one game. Don't know why it didn't happen again after that. Well, it happened again after that. We played a team up north, but I go out and had the best game of my career against Maryland. I didn't know. He's like, Carter, we ain't playing that 2 quarterback shit.
Mhm.
He's like, you gonna play. You throw 12 interceptions, you're gonna finish the game. Bet. I'm ready.
Go
Go out,
confident,
throw, go out for 300 plus, 4 or 5 touchdowns, and we kill them.
yeah.
The best offensive performance of the offense so far this season, I think it's like week 6 or 7. 2 weeks later, we playing Penn State at night. Back to the 2 quarterback system. I did horrible. Horrible. The 2-3 drives I did horrible.
Mhm.
And JT's in, finish the game, he win. Next day, morning, coach telling, hey, we're going to go with JT. I said, stop right there. I already know. That's your guy. You're going to go with him. Now I'm good. You ain't got to kiss my ass. This is Beck, Urban. I'm good. Now I feel comfortable. Now I know my place on this team.
Mhm.
Got up and walked out the office. That's it. Like don't baby me to don't try to make you think you can make me feel happy
Right.
to do something. No. Like I'm good. See y'all in practice. That's it. Go out. He do good. We play Rutgers, crush him. He go out the following week, get in trouble with that OVI. So now I got to play. I'm the starter. We play Minnesota, crushed him, because he when he played Rutgers, hey, no more 2 quarterbacks. You are a guy.
Yeah.
Go out 600 yards. Get in trouble the following week. Get suspended for a week. I go out 400 yards. We win. That's it. He
That's crazy.
followed back. He followed back with the upcoming game. I think it was Michigan State. That's when we lose.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Michigan State came a week or 2 later, but we lose before we go up to Team Up North, and it was extremely hard, because they stacked the box on us, and because it was no over the ball. It was, well, in their opinion, as their defensive strategy, it was no deep ball threat. It wasn't a guy in the game who's going to throw it deep. It wasn't a guy in the game we had who's going to go get it deep.
Mm-hmm.
So they stacked the box. They played true, quarters, safety down low, man these guys up. We're going to win or lose on one-on-one battles.
Right.
And they killing us at the line of scrimmage. So And I'm like, dude, I'm just, being a coach, we gotta fucking throw the ball. We gotta throw the ball. We can't just keep running up there like golly. And I feel like I'm the guy to throw the ball, at that point. So, and then I don't get a chance. I don't get to play. Extremely hard. And I understand Zeke's frustration, and not just him. I mean, a lot of guys express their frustration in different ways. He just had to came, the media outlet way, which another thing I don't agree with. It's okay for a coach to go and say, "Oh, this guy played horrible," and this and that, but I can't say you coach horrible.
That was the absolute truth.
I can't say you got outcoached. I'm a bad sport and all that stuff. Oh man, this guy played well. He's not gonna play this. I can't say that about you though, which is nothing I don't agree with, but it's whatever. But so yeah, that happened, and then we come back, bounce back the following week. Coach Beck, he gets the keys to the offense again. We coach the team up north. We crush them. Offense, we 600-700 yards offense on them. And I tell him, I remember texting Coach Beck, I'm like, because I knew I wouldn't come back the following year. I was like, you know what, for this team to have success in the future, you must be the play caller. That's what I texted him. And he's like, oh, thanks for that, this and that, because he had us rolling. Like, it was like, times. We was having fun on the sideline. We was rolling. We was beating a good team. Getting ready to play for a freaking, we hopefully having a chance to play for the Big Ten championship game. But I know we got snubbed because Michigan State ended up winning that week, too. And we ended up crushing Notre Dame. Coach Beck called the plays again. Won the quarterback system. So, and nothing I didn't agree with. We crushing the team up north, and he didn't put me in. That's nothing I didn't agree with. I'm like, dude, what's
your last go-round?
Yeah, it's my last go-round. Then we crushing Notre Dame. I didn't get it in either. Which, I was like, okay, whatever. It's cool. I'm going to the NFL.
No, but that was you played on a team that obviously had the talent to go out and win back-to-back national championships. And just as a fan that year watching that, it was tough to watch because, like you talked about, when you're watching two quarterbacks who are very, very good, and then you watch a quarterback that can sit back and slang it, and we can go ahead and win because we saw that at times it was difficult to understand what was going on within that coaching staff and where their mindset was. And, kind of hearing it from you, it's crazy. And I think a lot of people will probably, feel the same way. It's crazy to find details that you can explain that a lot of people on the outside looking in won't know. They won't know that the quarterbacks or the coaches are in the room and they're slotting down certain plays to get to certain guys instead of playing within the offense and allowing the quarterback to get comfortable on the field.
Exactly.
That shit is mind-boggling, man. It really is.
It really is. That phrase of, he outcoached yourself or you outsmarted yourself, that shit came into play.
Right.
And I'm like, golly, what are we doing? So, at times sometimes, we go 3-0 or do something stupid. Nothing worse than when your fans are booing you. Oh my God,
that's crazy.
But then again, like we put a lot of pressure on ourselves too because we was winning and we still feel horrible. We was beating guys 20, 30 points. It's like, damn, what's wrong with Ohio State? Why y'all didn't beat them by 50? Because we were so loaded on offense. We beating guys 20, 30 points and like we still, doing it. Drive the team across the field. You know what I'm saying? So, we're still feeling bad because we beating teams by 30. It should be 50.
Right.
So
let's change this. Let's switch it into your transition into the league. How was that? Obviously, coming from Ohio State, a big-time program, to where obviously you're a fishbowl. Everybody's looking down on you at Ohio State. Because you're the king around Columbus at this time. You won a national championship.
12 games.
Exactly. You got the 12-game T-shirts. Then you get into a situation where you're drafted by the Buffalo Bills. You go there. What was that like for you initially?
Man, another shell shock, man, because you go from a college program where everything is so fine-tuned and everything is kind of calculated and scheduled to – you got tutoring here, you got this, you got class, you got this, you got practice, you got training table and all this other stuff until you go into the real world, in which a lot of people don't understand. When they ask about the NFL, it's your job.
Yeah.
It's your job.
It's a job. It's a job.
It's a job. It's a job. So the transition was different because after practice, after meetings, everything, you're done for the day as far as mandatory. Now
a lot of free time.
This is the separation from the good, the great, and then the guys who fall off in a year or two. You don't hear about them again. What are you gonna do with all that free time? You got a little money in your pocket. What are you gonna do with all that free time? And it's like, oh shit, I ain't gotta go to class right now. I ain't gotta go to tutoring. I'm gonna stay here and study more, or I'm gonna go home and study more. I can go home, party, and play video games, and not fine tune your craft. And And like I said, that's the difference from NFL and college, because it's your job. You got more time to spend on your job.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about waking up and go to class and tutoring and all this other stuff before you get to your job in college.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the biggest difference for me, far as the adjustment, because the plan and the speed and size, that's going to be its own adjustment in its own category.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course, I mean, you got guys that's definitely at my position. You got guys bigger than me at this point, moving faster than me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's no more. You rarely see it. You see a guy like J.J. Watt and Tyreek Hill, because they are two guys that stand out to me. Tyreek Hill make everyone look slow.
No doubt.
And when we talking about world class athletes,
Yeah.
we talking about world class sprinters and runners. Tyreek Hill make everybody look slow.
Mhm.
So he's a freak. So he's a guy outside of his great ability, outside of his work ethic, outside of everything he already do, he can beat you off some of his talent. And you don't see that. And J.J. Watt is one of them guys. He's a freak athlete. He can move really good laterally. He's strong as heck. And that's another guy who can beat you off his talent at times.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's not take away their work ethic or what they really can do outside of just pure God-given ability. So you don't see that as much. So I know personally, like, okay, well, I know I might be late to this throw, but I can zip it in there. Yeah,
Right.
I got strong arms, stuff like that, but he's a lot faster than college DB.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand the difference of style athletes. You got to understand it just gives you a different perspective on what you got to do and how you got to improve. Because I'm like, if I'm about to run around J.J. Watt, or I'm about to, I mean, granted, a lot of these guys, the hands on you, you more so ain't shaking them off you.
Right.
So you ain't really depending on shit. If you get me, I'm just going to push you off me or something. There's no more of that.
Ain't happening.
For the most part, it's no more
Right.
of that.
Yeah.
So,
Overall though, man, just talk about your time in Buffalo. Obviously, we spent a little time together in Buffalo, man. And I tell you what, Beans, man, it was funny because I actually struggled with Buffalo's playbook, man. And I'm going to Dale like every night, like, bruh, what we got tomorrow, man? Because I need to see it before, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
I was just trying to be on top of everything because, man.
Trying to make a team.
I was trying to make a
for sure.
team.
trying to get a job.
Mhm.
Let me tell you something about this. Speaking of the Buffalo, man, and I just remember when I had got released from the Colts with the injury settlement, I told my agent, I wasn't sure where I wanted to go. I was like, look, week 5, I got to be signed by a team. And at that point, the Colts had given me a four game
Settlement.
settlement. So I'm like, week 5, I got to be on a team. So happened, I go work out for the Patriots, and they like, they was coming off a bye week, so they had worked me out and everything, and it was like, we like you a lot, but we're gonna wait till everybody get back, and we're gonna try to make a decision. We're gonna bring you back. Like, all right, whatever. Y'all know how that
Yeah.
is. Man, I'm on my flight to come back home. My agent called me like, man, no, stop. Don't get on the plane. Buffalo just called. They want you to come. I'm like, Buffalo? Man, I ain't trying to go to Buffalo. Go to Buffalo. It's crazy. We at Buffalo. It's me, myself, Trent Richardson, and another guy. They had to sign somebody. So I ended up signing. I ended up playing. I ended up getting cut again. So the year that you was coming, they had brought me back
Right.
the following year. And I'm like, I'm definitely not going back there. Like, I don't want to go back because I already know what time it is.
Yeah.
So when I come back this time, bro, we had, if you remember, it was myself. We had Shady.
James Wilder.
Jonathan
Williams.
Mike Gillisy.
Gillisy.
Bro, we in camp, Beans.
Mhm.
So I'm all right.
They bringing Reggie Bush too, don't they?
That's what I'm about to get to. So we in camp. I'm like, Dale, we playing, second team, third team, taking all the reps together. So I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna be straight, man. I think I could be the 4th guy.
Right.
Man, they bring in Reggie Bush, dog. And I'm like, bruh, I'm a camp body now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I already knew what time it was. Then they brought him in like the last week.
Yeah.
Like the last week of training camp, man. So, man,
Oh, my God.
I ain't got no love for Buffalo. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Talk about your Buffalo time, man.
You know what? I kind of, nothing bad to say about the organization. About
Yeah.
There, of course, it was a different experience coming from such a winning program. And at that point, we got Rex. I think it was the second year there, if I believe. And he trying to change the culture around there.
Right.
it's kind of almost set in stone as a losing culture for us. I think the drought was maybe 14, 15, 16 years and no playoff experience or losing season, something like that. So he's trying to change that culture. And like you guys know, in NFL, it's hard to change a culture because of how many new guys you get every year.
Yeah, revolving door.
Yeah,
right.
Players and coaches. So, and it was hard. You know, I can remember not just going through camp. Yeah, of course, camp in the preseason was cool, trying to learn everything. But going through the season, I think we started off 0-2, and we fired our coordinator, G-Row. And, you know, it was like, okay, you lose one game. That year in Buffalo, my rookie year, we lost more games as a team that I lost combined as my football career.
And that's hard to digest.
Bruh.
It makes you look at stuff completely different.
Completely.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to win in NFL. So we lose 1 or 2 games, whatever. And I just remember guys, like, yeah, what are we doing tonight? We're going up to Toronto and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm just like,
That was the thing.
We just lost.
Right.
We just
They ain't
lost.
care.
We
That was
just
but that was the mentality.
You know,
there.
yeah, it was such a losing culture
Yeah.
in my opinion that it was hard for the coaches to change because, 2-3 years as a coach, you ain't producing, you pretty much get out of there. And then I think the management was kind of new. I think, they just fairly bought the team. I can't remember
Yeah.
the Palugas. I don't know how long they had it.
That's how
so
it was.
it was pretty hard to kind of get that. Well, at that time, it looked like they headed in the right direction now, but it was hard to grasp the style of culture. And I was talking to guys like E.J. Manuel and a couple of guys who've been there. He's like, yeah, I said the same thing. It's
They
my
used to.
locker mate. Like,
Yeah.
I said the same thing when I first got here, man. You guys are just complacent and they just going through the motions. And I'm like, dude, so it's no worse feeling of being in week 10 and knowing your season is over.
Right.
Now you got 6 more damn games to go through the motions.
And emotions.
And I'm just like, you going there every day, like, no way you're going to the playoffs. And what was funny about the season, I think we were 7 and something at the time. I think we was about 500, but it was like a 0.4 chance of us making the playoffs. It was crazy. It was insane. We had to win out. We had to win our last 4. Pittsburgh had to lose 2. It was crazy. It was like 2 or 3 other teams had to do some crazy stuff. Everything happened but us winning out. Everything happened.
We would have been on the team that broke the curse, essentially.
Yeah, everything happened but us winning out. But you give a guy that scenario, you give a team that scenario, like, oh, whatever, season over for us.
Right.
But everything happened but us winning out. It was
That's Buffalo for you.
Like, I'm like, what? Yeah, so.
Another thing. My bad. I ain't mean to cut
No,
you
you
off.
good.
But I was going to say another thing. I think Rex Ryan, he was a good coach, but he was just too much of a player's coach.
Yeah,
Would you?
but at that point, though, I don't mind players, coaches, because you're dealing with professional fucking athletes. Be a grown man, be a professional. Do what you got to do.
I like players, coaches.
No.
Me too. I don't have to be that coach but I know exactly what you mean. I don't have to be that coach to stare at you every time, get on you every time you go. No, do you know what you got to do? Dude?
Right.
Like, do I got to really M and F you?
Yeah.
Like, come on,
It's
man.
a job. You want to be here, you
Yeah.
better go and perform. I ain't going to be over your back making sure you're doing
Exactly. It's your job.
your due diligence. I mean, if you ain't doing it, you're going to be gone real quick.
See you later, Alex.
Don't take it the wrong way when I say players coach. I just think
I know what you mean.
He was letting like a lot of like too much stuff just ride.
Exactly,
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like for instance, we played in London, we lost. We had the week off the next week. Like, what the heck is going on? Like,
he got a saying. He got a saying because his son coaches at Seth. He actually played at Clemson and stuff like that. So he like
I remember,
GA or something like that with us. So it was funny. Rex say, you know what? Yeah, the plane leave at 1 o'clock. Cause we pull up the plane. Leave at 1 o'clock, and we ain't waiting on nobody unless you're a good player.
That's how it is.
Hey, we ain't waiting on nobody.
right.
Unless you're a good player. We ain't waiting on your baby.
That's how it is in the league, though. I mean,
It sure
you understand
is.
that
It's cutthroat.
it's a pecking order. I mean, not even cutthroat. It just is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't got time for the games of making sure people feel the same. No,
If
he's
I'm
making
paying-
$20 million.
Exactly.
He's making $400,000.
Yeah.
Yo,
He gonna help us win?
Yeah.
He may not.
Yeah, exactly. I get another one of you in here quick, buddy.
Exactly.
Hey, so-
Talk about what it's like being with Phillip Rivers, man. That's
That's
been my dog. I loved Phillip Rivers as a quarterback
man, dude.
for so long.
It's crazy, and it's pretty cool to have it happen 2 times in my early stage of my career. 2 guys I looked up to playing ball, and I was on teammates with them. Reggie Bush and Phil. Phil was always one of my favorite. And
Mine
Gates,
too,
and
man.
Gates too. Antonio Gates, because Gates used to always come back and to this Chris Chambers camp they have up in Cleveland, because his boy at the time, Chargers, and he freaking coached me at this camp when I was younger. For like 4 years.
Man, that's dope.
How crazy is that? But Phil was always the guy I looked up to. So, funny story about Gates. Before I get to Phil, I didn't want to say, I didn't want to make him feel old when I first got traded and stuff. I'm just like, damn, that's Antonio Gates. Man, he said like 2 likes. I'm like, damn, man.
That's my
I ain't
dog.
gonna say nothing. I'm just like, I threw a couple passes to him. He's like, man, you doing good. So he finally break the ice, talk to me and stuff like that. I'm like, cool. I'm like, just he like, so I ain't want to say nothing. I mean, you used to coach me. You want to say something like that. He's like, so you ain't stick with tight end, did you, huh? Because he remembered.
Right.
I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, man, I ain't want to say that. I ain't want to make you feel old, but yeah, you used to coach. He's like, yeah, I remember your little ass, man. So that was probably my best experience with a player in the NFL. So by far, so far.
Right.
But with Phil, man, he's such a professional, and he has a way, and all the great players do, has a way to balance everything. His faith, his faith in religion, his family, his kids, and his job. He got a way of balancing it all, and this guy got 9 kids.
Yeah, a bunch.
Yeah, this guy
Hold on, what?
Him and his wife is expecting a 9th kid in next month, March.
Dang, I ain't know that.
Yeah, so he come from a
He putting
great,
in work.
yeah, they come from a great background, and he is the ultimate competitor. That dude ain't running out of daylight. He can't throw the furthest he throw, duck sometimes, and you see Phillip Rivers, man, and you didn't know about him by his face and just nothing wrong with his body, but you just think he's like, look at that big awkward white guy,
Right.
But he is a complete animal on the field, and then what really separate him and what I'm trying to, and I already apologized to him ahead of time. I told him I'm gonna be blowing him up this offseason because what makes him different and what makes him why I'm so grateful to be in the room with a guy like that, the way he watch film, the way he attack the defense, the way he attack each week in the film room. He runs 2 of our meetings, that he has with the offense as far as the blitz pickup and then in the run game, and outside of the meetings that we already have. So we get off the field, we blitz pickup in 10 minutes, it's like that. It's offense line us and the running backs,
Right.
And these are cut ups that he go through at himself and see what can cause us issues and problems in our protections. So this is not something like he telling the GA, hey, go look up these these blitzes real quick and get them over to me. This is stuff he going and go watch. He pulls shits up from years back. I'm talking about we had, who was it? It was Arizona. It was Arizona because we played them this year in the preseason and in the season. And they ran this funky zero blitz that sometimes they backed out and played man double hole with the backers. And sometimes they brought it, and it looked the exact same. We couldn't get it. And he went back to 2007, 2007 when he played the Texas, the defensive coordinator. So the guy for Arizona was originally at Panthers, who was under the guy at the Texas. So you know how that go.
Yeah,
Everybody
they run the same thing. Yeah, what they stealing?
That's where he finds it. And the difference was, I kid you not, the difference was when it was 0, the two shades. I mean, they had 2 shades and they had 2 guys walked up over the guards. So it's crazy. So when it's 0, the 2 shades left hands was down because they was spiking, and the 2 backers was hitting it. And when it was when the 2 backers bailed out, the 2 shades right arms was down because they was spiking out.
That's a beast right there. I mean, just a guy that's
Shit that you couldn't even. I'm like this. We all like this. We don't. What's the difference? we watching Arizona. We play Arizona like week 10, 11. So they ran it a couple of times, and it was a kind of a red zone thing. And they got guys. They got Cam on the interception, which I don't know how Cam didn't get that because he just saw that in his defense. Yeah. And they got someone else on a strip sack. I want to say Russell on a strip sack, but. We watching. I'm like, I don't know the difference. Like, literally, because what gets you, in a certain protection that we have for it, we go throw hot because you got a free hitter.
Right.
But that guy's popping out right under your hot route.
Right.
So we you don't want to throw it right to his ass.
Yeah.
Man, he went back to 2007, man, and watched Texans do it 4 or 5 times in the season, and they brought 0 twice, and both of the times the 2 shades had the inside hands down.
That's
and
crazy.
And it's so fulfilling, dude. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but it's so fulfilling when you find something like that and that shit comes up in the game and you own it.
Oh, but that's the best feeling in the world.
That
Knowing
is-
that you
like-
prepared.
Oh my God!
Man, what?
You like,
prepared
yeah,
feeling.
it's like, yeah, you prepare though. See, cover 3. I know how to beat this, that. But when they got some funky shit and you prepare for it and you pick it
That's
up,
the
or you,
best. That's the best.
oh my God, and he loves it, man. Phil loves it. Like he'd do something, he run off the field going crazy. Like I told you,
Yeah,
man. Like to the coaches,
yeah.
and I was like, we got to see that, just see that. And I was just like, oh my
That's
God.
one of the reasons why
he gonna be
Phil's
a
my
coach.
favorite guys. He's not just a quarterback that just, how most quarterbacks in the game, they just go back there, do what they do, they quiet.
Mm-hmm.
No,
He
talked
talks
that,
shit.
He talked that shit.
I love it.
And you know
He's
what's
one of the
funny?
only quarterbacks in the league that do it.
Yeah, he talked that shit, and then, he don't curse. So that's the funniest.
He booked.
He don't curse. Yeah, and then he was so funny just being around a guy like that for the past 2 years. I picked up some of his slang, and I'd be like, God darn it, or golly, or something like that.
Yeah.
And look at me, I'm like, oh man, I'm like, God, it's a long story. It's a long story. Trust me. And he's like, shoot, or darn it, shoot. And like he gets out there, and then he is such a competitor. So, he he got sacked. He got sacked versus who that number? Ravens.
Mhm.
And it was a good tackle for the back and stuff like that. So like the guy rolled, one of them tackles when you roll on him and all that stuff. So the
Yeah.
field wise he going down, pushing him off, trying to pinch the guy. And stuff. It's so funny, man. And then it was another play, like he threw the ball, but the guy still hit him, and the guy ended up getting a stinger or something like that. And like, the medics coming to see him. And I'm watching the game at this point, like watching the TV copy of the games, because we watched that too to see if we could hear anything after the game. And he tell the guy, "That's what you get. That's what you get." Tell the guy like, "That's what you get." I'm like, oh my God, it's hilarious. But man, I wouldn't trade being in the room with him over nothing else.
Man, that's dope, man. I only want to ask you a couple more questions before we get you out of here. And I love the interview too, man. This has been dope because we didn't have to ask a lot of questions.
Right.
Nah,
You were just able to
it's
just,
as
hey.
long as they keep flowing, man, it's all
Bro,
good.
Yeah.
exactly. But how much of how big of a role did Coach Ginn play, not only in your transition from high school to college, but when you made that decision to go to the pros, how much guidance did he give you?
A lot, and not just, and it started before high school, because, a lot of people don't know I played offensive line before high school.
Did you?
Cause just a tall guy.
Right.
I didn't,
In high school?
No, I didn't play in high school.
Oh,
Until-
before high school.
Before high school.
I was just a tall guy. I was lazy as shit.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, whatever. I just block some. I just fuck some of these little kids up. So I liked it too. I played offensive line and D, and I pretty much liked it. So, but I knew my 9th grade year, I'm like, okay, clearly these guys are bigger. I'm not playing offensive line or D. I'm like, they'll kill me. So, and I always played baseball, and I used to walk past. I wasn't gonna play high school football. I was gonna play baseball, run track, and hoop. So I was walking past the field, and all my buddies who I played Little League with, they down there practicing, and I'm laughing at them. Oh yeah, screw y'all, whatever. I don't care. Coach Ginn like, boy, get in here, because they knew my family. Boy, get your ass here. Come here, throw the ball. Like he made me throw the ball and just throw it a little bit before they even start practicing, condition, all that stuff. I'm like, okay, get the hell out of here. I used to be walking to baseball practice,
Right.
and I always could throw. So just that guidance. I mean, I remember talking to him after one of them times I did that, and he was like, where you want to go to high school at? Because this is the transition from 8th grade to 9th grade.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm going to Glenville, and he was in the midst of opening up his own school, Ginn Academy, which is the school I attended. And he was like, you know what, if you want to go there, you want to play college, you want to have an opportunity to go to college or stuff like that. But yeah, of course. He was like, you ain't that fast, which I understood that.
Yeah.
That's why I run track. Like, you ain't that fast. He's like, I think your best opportunity to go to college is, play some football. I was like, yeah, whatever, but I don't play offensive line. And then in our group of our group of guys, and I was still boning. So I was probably like 150, so I don't even want to play on DN either.
Yeah.
So in our group of guys I played football with, literally all my life since we were 7 years old, we already had our quarterback.
Mhm.
He's gonna be their quarterback. Everybody played the same position since we were little.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Like we already had our quarterback, had our running backs. Everybody who played their position in middle school played it in high school. Granted, until we got the varsity, a couple of positions changed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not beating him out. Like,
Right.
I'm thinking, I never touched the ball in the sport of football. I mean, if I'm recover maybe this stuff, but I never caught a ball, I never threw a ball, none of that stuff. So he convinced me to play, try it out, play. Long story short, our quarterback going to linebacker. He still probably hate me to this day. And because his brother was the quarterback on the varsity team right before we got to college. I mean, right before we got to high school. And it was in the midst of him following his brother's
Right.
footsteps.
You ready to
and
take over.
wearing his number 9 and all that stuff. So he probably still hate me for that, but it was still cool. But yeah, so the guidance of putting me always on the right track to be in a position for success.
Right.
And it goes deeper than football. I still talk to him to this day. I mean, pretty much a lot. And if it coming from making a financial decision about a big purchase or something like that to just advice about being a dad, advice about dealing with people, advice about, anything like that. I can still know I can count on Coach Gann to give me his honest and complete unbiased opinion, because one thing about him too, it was funny when I was thinking about transferring earlier in my career at Ohio State, because, I feel like I was getting treated unfairly and it's not fair. And I called a vent to bitch to him about some stuff, and like, no, you're wrong. That's the first time I feel like he disagreed. I'm like, what the fuck? Sometimes you want to hear that shit. No, yeah, fuck them. Yeah. I do my dog like that, like my homies. Yeah, my homies had me hype. Yeah, man, fuck them. You should have went to Michigan, man. You played transfer there. You kick their ass. I'm like, yeah, man, that's what I'm gonna do. And so he like, no, you wrong. Like, for one, you got to understand the position you in, and he just always give me that insight and that complete unbiased opinion, and it's sometimes, most of the time, it's something I probably don't want to hear, but I can trust and believe in his wisdom and his opinion, and that is, that he believes is for my best interest.
Right. I mean, that's important, man. I got a Coach Gann story. I got a many Coach Gann stories, but
for sure,
we all do.
Yeah, exactly.
When I was in high school, I was actually, after my junior year, I was going to transfer to Glenville. No. I wanted to transfer so bad, and he was like, "No, man, you can't do it." Because Jamario, they had the whole Jamario saga a year prior to that. But I remember just meeting with him and just understanding the type of person it is. It ain't about just winning football games.
Yeah,
it's about breeding kids
exactly.
to be on a successful path, and that's why you respect him so much, man. Exactly. He's giving kids the opportunity through football to get to college and further education, as we talked about a little bit earlier. But man, also better their families, just live experiences that you necessarily wouldn't be able to get without football for yourself and your family. And I appreciate that so much for him.
And so many more successful stories that he dealt with kids. I mean, and a lot of unsuccessful stories, but there's a lot of successful stories that he dealt with kids outside of athletics, kids outside of the Glenville community, kids outside of, that
other schools,
that he can help, maybe get a job or job recommendation, or just trying to mentor and kind of, stir these guys in the right path. That's what I really love about him, because it's not just one of them guys. You got them guys who's going to do something for that athlete because he think he probably get something in the back burner, or can say, "Oh, I really got him there," or "I really got him there." He ain't like that at all.
Right.
Nah, that's dope, man. Well, man, you got anything else?
I got one last question.
Go ahead.
I know Phillip Rivers is your man's, right?
My man, $50,000.
Is Tom Brady the GOAT? You play the position at the highest level.
You know what? I hate this GOAT shit, because for one, I hate that everybody call everybody the fucking GOAT. Like, there's only one greatest of all time. Like, are we talking about a GOAT in a sport? And I just see it every time. Like, you see other athletes comment on somebody, "Oh, you the GOAT, you the GOAT." Just like, off his fucking dick. But yes, I believe so. I believe Tom Brady is the greatest football player to ever play the game, because of what he and the reason why I say that, because you look at these other great quarterbacks, I believe that Brady has done more with less than anyone. And
I agree.
And you look at the Gronkowski's now and the Elements and everybody he played with, but you look at it when he did it without them, or he did it before their names were their names.
He made their names for real. A lot of guys.
In a way, because you see like a guy like a Willis Walker or a Deion Branch or somebody like that who left Brady. And just kind of mediocre guys.
Got the same success.
Yeah, they don't have. Yeah, they're still great players, but don't have the same success, like you said. And it's a product of. And one thing I think plays into Brady's favor, he played in one system all his career.
Was Hogan still there when you was there?
He left a year after Chris.
Bro, Hogan
I didn't think he was that good, though.
Bro.
I used to watch for him. I'm like, dude, he bust every play.
Man, Hogan.
he did, though. Like, the field, he's like, hey, well, he should be running out, but Chris running. I'm like, well, why?
He didn't play offense when we was in Buffalo.
What, special teams?
He was a straight special team guy.
Oh, really?
And go over there and he's superstar now.
Tom Brady is the only guy that was able to transcend generations. I mean, there's no quarterback out there who's able to do it like he's been able to do it and act successfully.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's why I give it to him, man.
Yeah, I think he's the greatest player to ever play.
Cool. That's all I got,
That's
man.
a wrap, man. We appreciate you coming on the show, dog. I know we took a little bit more of your time than anticipated, but
all good.
dog, this is gonna be a good one, man.
Yeah, for
Appreciate
sure.
it.
Appreciate you, dog.